radio station. Paul Kennedy, who's the host of Ideas, you may know, is trying to get you a Nobel Prize for literature. And he wants me to ask you about Suzanne and who Suzanne was.
You know, songs come to you in a whole lot of different ways, but there was a Suzanne who was associated with the song, and her name is Suzanne Vaillancourt. She was a wife of a friend of mine, Armand Vaillancourt. But I loved Suzanne Vaillancourt. She was very beautiful, and she's a very unusual spirit. So I certainly felt that when I was young, and a lot more. But she did invite me to her place near the river and did serve me.
Yes, this is my exclusive call from CBC Radio to Mars back in 2000.
And make it about something, it was in some more abstract realm, the song. And she gave it a location and a form. And I was very grateful.
Did she love you too?
No, I don't think there was any, you know, people are hopelessly attracted to one another when at that age.
And not later?
Well, I don't know, maybe later too. But certainly, I mean, you know, sex is the sport of the young, as Allen Ginsberg said, you know, so, especially in those days. But there were many legitimate and worthwhile obstacles to our meeting in that sort of way.
Once you knew you were going to be a songwriter, did it change the way you wrote?
Something like songwriting, one is always surprised when one is described as anything. Because in the inner chambers of your heart, you know, you're always struggling to come to some definition of yourself that is reasonable. You know, songwriter, it doesn't occur to me in the morning. You know, I mean, I know that that's my gig, and you know, and I've got to come up with a number of them, you know, to be able to continue this curious career. But it kind of dawns on you after a while that that's what you are. You know, and I have my notebook, you know, full of, you know, verses
and sketches.
And sketches, you know, and I guess that's who I am and what I do. But I reluctantly, you know, award myself that title. I never describe myself to myself that way.
But I think in some of the songs that you've written, there's such a close relationship with poetry, obviously, but form, too.
Yeah, it's true. I've always been interested in form. Maybe because I don't trust my own spontaneous nature to come up with anything interesting, and form imposes a certain opportunity to get deeper than your first thought. You know, there's a school of poetry that believes, you know, first thought, best thought. You know, that would have condemned me to, you know, a really unauspicious superficiality if I had followed that, because I don't have any ideas. Irving Layton once said to me, you know, Leonard is free from ideas. I don't have an idea, and I don't trust my opinions. I think my opinions are second rate. But when you submit yourself to a form, then something happens, and you're invited to dig deeper into the language and to discard the slogans by which you get the easy alibis of language and of opinion. And if you're looking at the Spencerian stanza, for instance, which is a very, very intricate verse form, where you have to come up with many rhymes of the same sound. you know, you're invited to explore realms that you usually don't get to in ordinary, easy thought. You know, I mean, I consider my thought stream extremely uninteresting, and it's only when I can discard it that I find, you know, I can say something that I can get behind.
Do you think opinion is second rate in general because it's not about ambiguity? That it ignores ambiguity or ambiguity's potential?
Well, you know, for the purpose of conversation, opinion is valuable because
It gets you through.
It just gets you through the day. I can dredge up an opinion and even defend it, but I'm less and less willing to do that. It becomes more and more tiresome to defend an opinion that you never fully embraced in the first place. So it's a useful social tool. I mean, we're living in a time now when opinion is becoming rigid and belligerent, as religion and faith is. You know, so we're living in this period when you're defined by opinion. People want to know, you know, are you for or against this particular issue, and will base their entire possibility of friendship with you on the basis of opinions that you may hold or not hold. So that's another reason to keep quiet about most things.
Let me ask you about the 4 other songs that are going to be inducted. Bird on a Wire. Where did Bird come from?
I think that's